The U.S. and our allies on alert after that dramatic attack on Iran's top military commander.
Yeah, and Iran's supreme leader is now vowing revenge for the U.S. operation that took out that man, General Qasem Soleimani. He was killed in a missile attack at the airport in Baghdad on Thursday.
The U.S. saying he was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of Americans during the Iraq War, as well as those protests earlier this week at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, also warning that he was actively planning attacks on American diplomats and service members.
And you can see thousands of his supporters taking to the streets protesting this morning. Our chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz starts us off there in Washington. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. Americans are being warned to get out of Iraq immediately after this stunning and dramatic escalation with Iran. And now the world waits for the response from Iran. What they do could have a profound impact on the region, possibly leading to war. And given the threats this morning coming from Iran, a response is almost certain. A fiery heap is all that remained of the motorcade that was carrying Qasem Soleimani, the powerful and revered Quds commander in Iran, a force labeled a terrorist organization by the U.S. Soleimani had just arrived at Baghdad's international airport, climbed into an SUV, and within minutes he was dead. A sophisticated U.S. drone launching powerful missiles into the vehicles carrying the elite commander and others supporting Iranian-backed militias. An image of Soleimani's hand from the smoldering wreckage emerging with a large ring he was known to wear. The Pentagon saying in a statement last night that Soleimani was actively developing plans to attack American diplomats and service members, adding that the strike was aimed at deterring future Iranian attack plans. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo going further today.
We want the world to understand that there was, in fact, an imminent attack taking place. President Trump's decision to remove Qasem Soleimani from the battlefield saved American lives.
Soleimani in the crosshairs after the death of an American contractor last week and the attack on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad that followed. President Trump, who gave the final order to take out the Iranian official from his Florida retreat Mar-a-Lago, tweeting an American flag last night, and this morning tweeting Iran never won a war but never lost a negotiation. Directly targeting a senior Iranian military official is a major escalation in Trump's confrontation with Iran and his so-called maximum pressure campaign, which he began after withdrawing from the Iran nuclear deal, followed by crippling sanctions. Soleimani himself blasting the president in a speech last year. Let me tell you, Mr. Trump, the gambler, he said, know that we are near you in places that don't come to your mind. Soleimani is a hero in Tehran for his battlefield exploits dating back to the Iran-Iraq War in the 80s and the U.S. war in Iraq, where his Quds force is responsible for the deaths of hundreds of U.S. troops in Iraq, according to the State Department. But Soleimani was also a leader in the fight against ISIS. A mix of intelligence and special operations, the Quds Force conducts deadly operations and leads fighters throughout the region, including in Syria's civil war to support the brutal dictator Bashar al-Assad. Iran is all but certain to retaliate for the assassination, with fears of an escalation that could spiral into war. Iran's powerful Ayatollah saying this morning of his right-hand man, his efforts and path won't be stopped by his martyrdom. By God's power, rather a severe revenge awaits the criminals who have stained their hands with his and the other martyrs' blood last night. Martyr Soleimani is an international figure of resistance, and all such people will seek revenge. U.S. troops in the region are already on high alert, days after the embassy compound in Baghdad was stormed by a pro-Iranian militia and its supporters. The two-day siege forced Marines to deploy tear gas, an Apache helicopter to fire off flares in warning. That attack came after U.S. airstrike Sunday killed 25 militia members, a retaliation for the death of that U.S. contractor last Friday. The U.S. has deployed 14,000 troops to the Middle East since May, an additional 850 arriving just this week. All of them now potential targets for an Iranian response. Israel is also on heightened alert this morning, and others across the region. And while Soleimani was responsible for the death of so many American forces in the past, it is unclear how this ends. Robin.
Martha, please help people understand how significant this is and how big of a blow this could be to Iran.
It is such a blow, and as you saw, thousands of mourners did take to the streets across Iran this morning after Friday prayers. There were three main chants: death to America, death to Britain, and revenge, revenge, something we will likely hear a lot more of in the coming days. Robin.
All right, Martha, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.